Chapter 12. The next day I was crippled, and I was happy as a clam. There's something profound about pushing your body to its limits and then just surrendering to the tiredness that fills in every crack. Even though I needed a wheelchair, my brain felt clearer than it had in ages, like it did after a hard to workout or a tough soccer game. Why are you walking so funny? Oma asked as I helped get out the cereal and milk. Getting old, I said. Mr. Knudsen wandered into the kitchen in a fur pink robe, groping for coffee. Young ran down, her flute in hand. Young ran down, her flute in hand. I'm, go- I'm going to Donna's house to practice flute after school. She said, grabbing her lunch. Donna is that girl from math class? Oma called to her. Yes, Young said. Her voice faded as she flew out the door. Oma, I think I'm going to stay after school again today. Chora, she said, which basically means a fine and dandy. What are you up to? Oh, some kids are starting a club. I wasn't exactly sure why I didn't want to tell her. Maybe it was because I didn't want to jinx it. Just be home for dinner at 7, okay? As usual, Abuji was already at the store. Hey Chan, Oprah yelled at lunch. Come sit with us. I threw my sandwich into my bag and suppressed an idiotic grin. Hey, said 80% of the guys when I sat down. Monster and the Mexican-looking guy didn't say anything, but I didn't care. It felt good to have a group to eat with. You ever kicked a football before? Coach asked me. No, I said honestly. The closest I ever come was a nerve at the beach. At the beach. Shouldn't be a problem. You seem quick, he said, clapping a hand on my shoulder pad. Bear Grace, here we'll show you the particulars. Particulars. I don't know how to say it. Jimmy Bear Grace was the black-haired kid, friend to Monster. I guess he was Mexican, but Indian. Today his long hair stuck out in a braid under his helmet. His cold then coach told him to help me out. Here, he said, shoving a football and a tee at me. He had terrible teeth, all yellow and cracked. You put the football on this. I took the stuff from him. I said I never kicked before. Not that I'm retarded. That came out a little harsher than I meant it to. But I wasn't that sorry. There are some guys that you just don't like right off the bat. And he was one of them. He didn't say anything. He leaped up to the ball and butted it, fairly decent, about 20 yards. I reset it, regarded it. Then I ran up and kicked it. It took to the air, changing its mind, crashed down and bounced and came to rest like a dead animal a few yards away. Nice, Jimmy said it sarcastically. He glanced over his shoulder to make sure I saw what he saw. That coach was watching. I tried again. Same results. Maybe you're not cut out to be a kicker, Jimmy said helpfully. I reset my ball. I reset the ball. You know how to kick, I told myself. Focus. I ran, keeping my knee over the ball, thinking, go. The ball took off. I beat drunkenly, but it kept on going on sale about 40 yards before falling plumply back down. Whoa, came a cry from the field. Oprah arm raised mid-pass, gave me the B for victory sign. Way to go, Chanster. Look at the leg. Nice, said Jimmy. He was trying to be sarcastic and failing miserably. Look happy, young man, and said Miss Knudsen at dinner. In fact, you look so happy as I ever seen you. Have some more hot dish. You make the best hot dish, I said sincerely. Hot dish was some Minnesota thing, and today's tuna fish and egg noodles with crushed potato chips on top was particularly sublime. Apogee was slopping, I don't know what it's, down his portion, noisily like he did at home. One eye especially on me. I think he thinks if I'm happy, I must be up on to no good. It wasn't always like this. When I was little, I remembered adoring Apogee. I used to stay up late just so I could see him when he came home from the store. I miss a jump. Rah, look at this little rascally fellow, he said to me, but he wouldn't scold me for being up past my bedtime. He make a snack of ramen for both of us. We sit there eating while everyone else was asleep. So, exactly when did Abuji turn so negative on me? When did this? Number one, son. Things start to mean I couldn't do anything right. I tried to make myself glum by thinking thoughts of war, death, destruction, and spam, but my mind kept going back to the side of the football turning into a UFO, and a smile tugged out of my mouth as if I were a puppet. At practice the next day, I caught a pass and ran an obstacle course of the defenseman to bring it down for a touchdown. Coach nodded approvingly. "You're a twice the little guy," said Kearney, who hardly ever compliment anyone. After practice, I was blaving nonstop with Miko, and it felt like my feet didn't bother to touch the ground. At home, I said hi to Miss Knudsen and then to Oma, who was getting a lesson in Minnesota cookery. I said he I said hi to Apogee, too, as he sat at the table with a bunch of papers in front of him. He didn't seem to notice I was home. "Did you have a good time?" Oma asked. She was watching Miss Knudsen add carrots and potatoes to a big pot in which a roast was steaming. "Yep," I said. I decided that practice had gone so well that I could let the cat out of the bag. Get this, I'm trying out for the football team. The team needs a kicker, and with all my soccer skills, I might be able to do it. Where were you?" Abu said. "At football," I said with surprise. His English couldn't be that bad. "The store should be open in another week or so. I'll need you to start working there," he said without looking up. His glasses perched at the top of his head looked like a pair of sightless eyes. "Okay," I said, wondering exactly what he was getting at. "On weekends like I did back at home, right? After school, too." "Oh, I believe you was telling me I couldn't play football. He does this thing where he drops hints, punches in a code, mutters and mutilates words until he can tell me no without having to say no to my face. Occasionally, he makes Oma do his dirty work, like the time I wanted a mountain bike for my birthday. But mostly, he does the job himself, leaving me flapping like a fish pull up on a dock, trying to figure out exactly what he means. I let the silence stretch out, thinner and thinner. "Tell me no if you mean no," I was thinking. "Tell me no to my face and give me a chance to argue my point. What doesn't we wait and see if Chan makes the football team and then worry about things?" Alma broke in. "I think that would make the most sense." Abuji looked at Alma, kind of surprised, as if the rose itself had started talking. "Our River was a wonderful football team. I can't wait to see you play," Miss Knudsen said as she moved the rose back in the oven. "I never miss a home game." Abuji went back to his papers. "After dinner, I was doing some push-ups when John came up to my room. 'How come I never see you at lunch?' She settled cross-legged on the floor. I told her about the gym, Miko, and the other football players. "I didn't know you could do that," I shrugged. "We're not supposed to, but some kids do anyway." Young looked mildly shocked at this. "She's a big rule follower. So you meeting any cool kids?" I asked, to change the subject. "It's too early to tell," Young said. "People seem friendly enough, but no one does anything around here. I like Donna. She's no Sujin, though. My knuckles travel because I've been doing the push-ups that they known to style on the wooden floor." Yeah, I said. The only guy I really gotten to know is Miko, the one who got me to go for football. I can believe you're going out for football. Young leaned over to pinch a sore bicep. I tried not to Grimes. I know you're strong, Opa, but they grow and big up here. Like that one guy who hears the dirty fried jeans and those t-shirts without the sleeves. He's a monster. There's something odd about him. He smells bad too. How do you know how he smells? He stank something fearsome in the locker room, but then we all did. Yuck, Chan. Just walking down the hall. He was a cloud around him, like Pigpen in Peanuts. W- Can we talk about something else? So what are you going to do if Apogee doesn't let you go out for football? My other favorite subject, Apogee. You think he doesn't want me to go out for football? I batted my eyes. Young girl hairs. Anyone can build muscle, but building my brain, she mimicked. Apogee clip Korean, number one son. You must be something to make this family proud. Youngster, I said, I really do want to go out for football. I mean, I used to think it was a useless sport, but actually I kind of like it. I know it shows. So what should I do? I'm not sure, she admitted. Maybe you should write it out a little first. You know how Apogee is too touchy. Touchy isn't the word. I couldn't help feeling touchy myself, though I am willing to work hard. I'll never be a rocket scientist. But doesn't talent extend beyond things you do with a pencil in your hand? I worked my butt off to make the soccer team, and while Apogee drove John all over the freaking state of California for some math tournament, he never came to one single soccer game, even when they were right in this neighborhood. Apogee always listened to you, Young. I said, can you come up with some cool argument for football, like studies show that football can help you get better grades or something like that? Young shrugged her thin shoulders. I'll try, she said doubtfully.